Hello, I'm with Alternative Hospice, and we're doing hand massage today. One of the things we want to do when we start hand massage is take off rings, watches, things that could possibly scrape on the skin. Our skin, especially as we age, becomes a little bit fragile, and so we want to make sure that we don't have anything dragging there. So I've taken off my rings, my watch, and I've also washed my hands, because that's always nice, and we've gotten really great at hand washing. So one of the things we want to also keep in mind is pressure. How much pressure do we want to put on this skin? And we want to work with the weight of a nickel. That's 5 grams of pressure. So we're going to be really light. We don't want drag. So nice soft touch. We're going to start out with a sandwich. A sandwich feels kind of nice. It lets us connect and get to know one another a little bit. Just my hand underneath her hand and on top of her hand. So a little connection. We've already got her sleeve up out of the way, so we're not going to get cream on the sleeve. I've got a little bit of cream here. It's a really good sliding cream. It doesn't have a lot of drag. I used that word earlier. And I'm going to use a fair amount, even though it's a good gliding cream. And I'm going to warm it up, right? Who wants cold massage cream on their hands? So I'm warming it up. I'm going to put that hand underneath, a hand on top, light pressure, maybe a little bit more than the 5 grams right now, but that's just because we're resting and we're connecting. And then I'm going to just start a nice glide, and I'm going to go in the direction of the muscles. Think about the muscles in your arm. So I've already done probably about 4 passes here, but we only want to do about 3 passes, because once we do 3 passes, the skin's kind of like, okay, now what are you going to do? So we want to go on to something else. And I'm just going to do the top of the hand first. So now I'm coming to the hand more and remembering that there's a lot of bones in the hand. I'm just running up north and south with those. And I can already feel my client here, my hand model, relaxing. After we do about 3 north and south, we're going to take a spread out. Just a nice, gentle spreading of the skin to the sides, east and west. Just nice spreading, gives a little room, a little space in there. But once again, we're working very lightly. Work down to the thumb. And I know as I've gotten older that my thumb has done a lot of work along the years, and it gets a little grumpy. So I'm going to work at each knuckle. Work it. Just kind of massage around, my fingers going underneath. Work down to that next knuckle. Doing the same thing. Very lightly. And then I'm just going to kind of give it a pull. Very, very gently. Really just kind of running my hands down it. And I'm going to go to the next knuckle on the next finger. Working my way down, gently, gently, all the way down. So a nice breath from my hand model here. She's relaxing. I'm going to work each finger, the knuckles, and all the way down. Keeping in mind that along the way I may need to get a little bit of my massage cream, warming it up with my hand before I take it onto her hand and work down that knuckle, that finger. And the last finger we're working through. Once again, working gently and slowly and with intention, thinking about what we're doing. As we finish this side of the hand, just going to run my hand up it again a couple of times. That'll help work in a little of the extra cream that may be there. So I'm going into a kind of a handshake. I've got a hold of her thumb with my thumb. Her hand's laying on my hand. I'm going to put my other hand up on her elbow, and I'm going to turn that hand over. I'm supporting with my hand and with the pillow that I put on her lap. At this point, maybe a little more cream, right? We want to have that nice glide. Warming it up, working on that arm, trying to keep it off of her sweater or shirt or top, whatever he or she happens to be wearing. Once again, 3 nice glides up in the direction of the muscles and the bones. Coming down into the hand. Sometimes you can even go back to that handshake so that you can get into the hand really well. Working lightly. I'm using my thumbs a little bit. There may be a little bit more than the 5 grams, but that part of our hand works a lot, and there's a lot of muscles in there. So giving a little swirly massage on that. And then I'm going to bring them out. Once again, light pressure, bringing those muscles out. There are some that go this way, so we want to make sure we run up those too. So while we've got the hand this way, if you happen to run across someone with some nausea, upset stomach, we've got a pressure point in the wrist that we can work with that will help stop that nausea feeling. And so you take 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, off of the hand. So right there is the wrist. Take the 3 fingers up, and that's our point right here, right at the end of those fingers. We're going to put our fingers on the bottom, the thumb on the top, and we're going to hold that, not press that. We're going to hold that for about 2 to 3 minutes. I know it takes a little while, but we're going to hold that. And what that's going to do with that thumb there, just sitting there, is it's going to start working that point. After we're there for about 2.5, 3 minutes, we're going to just give it some little circular motion. We're not pressing in. It's very light, isn't it? Working that nausea point. Run our hands up the arm a little bit. We don't need to do the fingers again because we did that when we had the hand the other way. We're once again going to go to the elbow, take the hand, and bring it over. While we still have this hand, if they happen to have some pain, there's a point right here between the thumb and the first finger that if we do the same thing, just hold that point. We're not really pressing, we're just holding. We're not digging in. Hold that point for 2 to 3 minutes. That can help with pain relief. So I've got 1 finger on the bottom of the hand and 1 finger in that muscle that's right here in that webbing between the thumb and the first finger. If Nicole happened to have had her sleeves down at this point, I would pull her sleeve down and put her hand down. I would then do the very same thing on the other arm. If by chance she had a sleeveless top on, or maybe even a hospital gown or something, and the whole arm was available, I would go up and do the same thing on the upper arm. Strokes up, very light, up towards the shoulder. You can bring them back down on the entire upper arm. And even, I tell you, even if they've got a top on, that feels good, doesn't it? She didn't want me to stop. You can give that shoulder a little bit of love too. Just once again, we're working very lightly. We're working with very compromised skin. I know Nicole wants me to go ahead and do the other hand, but we're going to save that for afterwards. All right. We have some proprietary creams that we use. I just used a plain cream today. We oftentimes use a lavender cream. We have some for nausea. We have some for pain. We also have some creams that are for confusion and agitation. I'm sure we'll get into that at another time when we talk about our essential oils, but we do use creams that are appropriate for our patients, our clients, so that we can help take care of those issues that they may have happening. Thank you so much for joining us today in hand massage, and hopefully you can give some relief to your loved one.